Hello, welcome to Writing Quest, and today we are talking about the best character of Star Wars, the greatest character of Star Wars, Obi Wan Kenobi. Tomorrow, as of when this video comes out, will be the premiere of the Obi Wan Kenobi show, so we wanted to do a special episode talking about his character and why I personally think he is the greatest of all Star Wars characters. So, here is 5 reasons why I think that is true. But before we get into those 5 reasons, I want to talk about something that's very important to the Obi Wan Kenobi character, which is his inner conflict. And there may be some people out there that debate this, but I personally believe that his main inner conflict is disappointing or living up to Qui-Gon Jinn's expectations. As a Jedi Padawan, Qui-Gon Jinn was essentially not only his master as he was the apprentice, but Qui-Gon Jinn was his father figure, essentially. That was the person who raised him from a baby up until when Qui-Gon finally died in Episode 1. And so I personally believe, because of how things happened with Anakin and how everything went down in the whole story, that really his main inner conflict is the fact that he wants to please Qui-Gon Jinn, live up to his expectations, and live up to the charge that he was given, which was training Anakin Skywalker. And if you know anything about Star Wars, you know that did not go so well. So here are the 5 reasons why I think he is the greatest Star Wars character. Number 1, despite being one of the greatest Jedi Masters in all of the Jedi's history, he is always unsure if he will live up to his father figure, Qui-Gon Jinn's expectations. This is something that you can just tell no matter where you are with his story, whether you're before Episode 1 in the book Master and Apprentice, whether you're in the prequel trilogy. They just put out a new book called Brotherhood, which that review is coming, but it's really great. Every time you interact with Obi-Wan, he's got this. He's very confident. He knows what he's doing. He's skilled. He is diplomatic. He knows how to talk to people. Like, everything about him is cool, calm, and collected. But you just know with his inner dialogue and how he does things sometimes and how he interacts with Anakin and some of the other Jedi that he doesn't want to fail his master. He doesn't want to fail Qui-Gon Jinn. And that, to me, is the greatest of his conflicts. Number 2, Anakin, his apprentice, is thrust upon him by his father figure, and so he is therefore wanting to do the best he can, but also resentful of the task he's been given. If you know from the prequel movies, Obi Wan Kenobi did not agree with training Anakin. He agreed with the Jedi Council that Anakin should not be trained, and he was very defiant about this point, but ultimately conceded to Qui-Gon Jinn, who was his master. And so I believe a big part of his inner conflict and the problem that he has as a character is that Anakin was not a choice that he made. He was given Anakin, the council forced it upon him, and not only did the council appoint them to be master and apprentice, but because Qui-Gon Jinn believed so strongly about it, he was pushed into training someone he didn't think that they should be trained or want to train. And so I think that this was a big it's kind of like this always undercurrent that's between the two of them. I think that Obi-Wan never really wanted to train him, and so anytime Anakin steps out of line or does anything that he shouldn't do, it's kind of something that Obi-Wan holds over him in a way because he's resentful, even though he maybe doesn't even know it. Number 3, he has a high moral compass, but still wants to please Qui-Gon Jinn. Obi-Wan Kenobi's character has a really high moral compass. He wants to do what is right. He's definitely a lot more black and white in what he believes is right and wrong. He doesn't believe that Qui-Gon Jinn's, that this is a big theme of Episode 1, where he disagrees a lot with Qui-Gon Jinn about pretty much everything that he does and all the choices that he makes, the biggest one being about Anakin. And so, he says it in the first movie about he would just be on the council if he would follow the Jedi Code, which Qui-Gon Jinn frequently breaks from. And so he has this kind of dual purpose in him, which is really just the hallmark of the character in general. He has this dual, I want to please my master, and I want to do a good job, and I want him to be proud of me, but I disagree, and I don't think he's doing things the right way, and that's not how I would do them. Number 4, even after Order 66 and even after all the terrible things that have happened, he still looks after Luke and ultimately, in a certain point of view, from a certain point of view, completes the mission. He was given the task of training Anakin and raising Anakin. He obviously failed at that because Anakin became Darth Vader, but he ultimately did bring Anakin back to the light side through Luke, through watching over Luke, making sure Luke survived, ultimately training Luke and setting him on the path to be a Jedi. Obviously, we don't know exactly as of when this comes out what's going to happen in the new show, and so maybe some of that perspective will change. But as it stands right now, he still completed the mission of training Anakin and keeping him on the light side. It just took a little bit longer, and he went through the proxy of Luke to do it. Number 5, despite his failing and the tragedy of everything that happened in his life, failing as a teacher, failing as a master, he still never gives up hope, and he still fights for the good of the Order. This is one of the hallmarks of him. He's not only is he conflicted about what's happened, he's conflicted about why it happened. He never agreed with it in the first place, but he still did it, and he accepted the challenge. He failed at the challenge, and despite all of those things, despite all of his PTSD or whatever is going on with him, he still believes in the mission, and he still works hard to do whatever he can to be hopeful and to raise Luke and to watch over Luke. And it's just a great, thing about the character that he never gives up. He always keeps trying, and that's one of the reasons that you love him. That's one of the best things about Obi Wan Kenobi is he never gave up. He still tried. He did everything that he could within his power, even though his whole life is full of tragedy and failure. Thank you so much for watching this video about our character profile on Obi Wan Kenobi. We hope that you liked it and found it entertaining. We are going through the 3-act structure right now, and you can check out our latest video on that right here. Thanks for watching this episode of Writing Quest. Huzzah!